Hello, everybody. I am Jamie, Soulshine 1111, and I am happy you're here. If you're watching this, thank you. I felt guided to do a video on perhaps what awakening looks like. Perhaps maybe give you some insight of what it may even feel like. All right? It's a lot. It's heavy shit. It's not like sparkles and glitter and like fucking fairy worlds. Like, it's hell. It really is. It is a test on your innermost fucking breath. And it is a test on whether you can handle it to take that next breath. It feels, for some, awakening like the dark has come in and erupted your soul in a way that you don't even know how it transpired or when it even started. There is a sense of a feeling of dark beyond recognition, internally and externally. Well, what do I mean by that? People who you thought were supposed to be in your life, including family, who you thought were going to be there and you there for them, always aren't. What does it look like to grow in your own ascension as you awaken? Pain. It feels like fucking pain. The most excruciating pain that you can ever not want to ever imagine. All right, it's headaches. That you have to wear your hat so tight to your head to stop the pulsating. What does it look like? For some, it comes out looking in the worst breakup that you think of your life. Divorce, relationship breakup, a work breakup. And then what does it feel like? Perhaps even what does it look like? It can even look like one thing after another. Piling. Pile. And just when you wake up from your slumber, because you maybe didn't get much, but it's like a treasure, because now maybe where you used to sleep through all night, you sleep maybe a couple hours or 4. And then when you wake up, you think, oh, good, new day, and then pile. Shit, all of it. Perhaps that means you're awakening. What do I mean by that? The piles, seeing through others' bullshit, thinking things are gonna get better than they do, and then pile. Shit. Pile. One thing after another, and it doesn't feel like there's ever an end to your hell. Okay. Perhaps awakening feels like your inside is being ripped to fucking shreds, and like you're doing it all by yourself because nobody cares. Perhaps that's what that looks like, and even lonely is maybe what it feels like. Perhaps your awakening or ascension feels like desperation. Like you don't even know what to do next, where to turn next, who to trust next. Perhaps for some, that awakening feels like a pain encountered by your closest friends. Perhaps this awakening and then it coming to fruition that sisterhood really is not a thing. And by the way, maybe brotherhood isn't either. And does family exist? Or is it just us? Perhaps as you awaken and as you ascend and see through the bullshit, that connection to your own fears begins to roll out. And you do every single fucking thing in your power to hold on tight to what was. out of fear for what can be, because it's unfamiliar. So it's just, for some, perhaps awakening is trying all you can to hold on to what's not meant for you anymore, only to then have that shit keep piling. Perhaps for some, awakening and personal ascension is finding yourself as you rise above the bullshit and your own fears, to then see through everybody else and know that if everybody else who you thought before was intentionally leaving you out or laughing at your face is actually, as you awaken, not what they were ever doing to begin with. And you're recognizing now, as you ascend and grow, that those people doing that behavior aren't. And so you're just changing vibrations. You're just operating on another frequency level. And it's lonely and it feels cold. Perhaps awakening for some and ascending feels like constantly giving, and never receiving anything in return. And then perhaps awakening, you recognize that giving and not getting it back wasn't ever about them to begin with. It was only about yourself. Okay? Solving problems with problems, as a friend of mine had mentioned once. And it makes the biggest sense I've ever. Because when we solve problems with problems, then we don't have to deal with our problems. Say we're getting somewhere in our own problems and we're making huge strides in overcoming something, and then boom, we get a phone call or a message and it's a friend about their problem. Guess who's gonna go? Us. Because we want to help, and that's always what we've done. But what is that doing? Solving problems with problems. But they're not even ours. Okay, so we're starting our battles to work through our problems and our own shit, to then stop what we're doing to go towards someone else. There's problems. There we don't have to, then we avoid our own problems that we were just working on. So then where's the growth in solving problems with problems? If you find that you're doing that, you're awakening. Okay? Perhaps the heavy is so heavy that you just can't do anything but cry. Perhaps for some, it feels literally like you are so disconnected and holding on for dear life, and you're not even sure what you're meant to be or what you're meant to do. Okay? Because then you begin to question, why are you here? Why am I here? Why am I worth growing? Well, just know, when you are ascending, you are growing, and that's worth it in itself, because that growth that then you do provide lessons and insight that now others perhaps can grow off of and ascend. And you're ascending when you do that. Okay? When you resist your own ascension, how does that feel? Like you're gonna explode. Like your head is just, perhaps for some, gonna freaking hole, right? And it's just like a hell, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, you're drained. Sitting up on the couch or laying in bed and not even be able to move your head. You're growing. You're ascending. That's called awakening. Don't fight it. When you feel any tension in your body, that is a sign that you are fighting your own growth. Okay? When you feel like all you want to do is collapse and not talk to a single person, perhaps you're ascending. Okay? When you realize that you aren't doing the same things like you used to enjoy, and instead staying home, perhaps you're ascending. Perhaps you're ascending and you know you're awakening when you go places and you're picking up intuitively seeing these random visions about people's inserts of people's life, but you can't be 100% sure if they're anything because you don't even know those people. Tune in. It's a good chance you're picking up on those people without realizing what you're picking up. You're ascending. Perhaps you recognize these places that you used to frequent or sometimes still do, people being put off by you. They'll give you the hugs, they'll give you the love, but then they'll step aside, causing you perhaps to recognize on a conscious level. You're questioning, did I do something wrong? No, you're just ascending, and guess what? They are too. We all are. The universe is fed up to fucking throat chakra. It's like, I can't like barely talk. It's happening to us all. All of us are ascending. In one way or another, we're growing. And it's scary. All right? It's so scary. And the more shit that we resist to see and believe, the slower our ascension and the more pain we feel. Okay? We're going through it, all of us, all right? You know that you may be ascending or an awakening when you can sense something wrong with somebody else somewhere in this world, and you get a call and it's them. Or you can sense a storm coming and not know, and then look out your window and see no storm is coming, only to then recognize when you turn on the news, huge storm on the coast opposite of where you live. You're ascending. Perhaps for some of you, ascending and awakening is rising above in a way that you used to make fun of others doing. Okay, well, chances are they were ascending and you were not relating, because you, not in a bad way, but because we all operate on a different frequency level, a vibration. We are all energy. Okay. Perhaps you know you are awakening and ascending if walking down the street and all of a sudden your shoulder touches somebody and you just get this like shock, and you're like, look back into some, and you have this feeling, and you know it's not yours. Chances are you're ascending. You're fucking awakening. To ascend and awaken is intensive. The intensity is just indescribable. It's painful. It's not. I keep thinking that it could be this temporary thing, but it just keeps happening, and it has just kept happening. It's action. It's movement. It's fear, it's pain, it's sad, it's happy, it's overwhelm, and humor, all fucking rolled up into one. It's ascending. Perhaps you are ascending and awakening when you realize your health is at risk. Either one, you've been fighting it, and so you've been fighting it by ignoring it, solving problems with problems, through addictions, however, through work, all right? Or it comes out as a disease of some sort that's incurable, cancer, whatever. And now you have that because you refused to deal with it. It could be ascension. but the inability to recognize what was happening while it was happening. And so the best way to do it is solve problems with problems. Other focus on other people and not on yourself. And so if these sicknesses come in, it's a sign, perhaps, that the universe is screaming it, all right? You're meant for more, so be more. For some, ascension and awakening, his blood, true blood and fucking tears and pain, deceit and lies, trauma like no other, abuse, okay, and recognizing these things for what they've been. When you can do that, you're awakening, perhaps. You're ascending, okay? When you recognize that material world is just that, material, and doesn't fully matter anymore to your heart, when your image isn't, you don't care about it, what you look like or that kind of thing, because you're just happy being you and you're content with it, you're awakening. And it doesn't matter what you look like or what you own. What matters when you're ascending and awakening, what you realize matters, is the people in your life and yourself and the things, like animals. That's what I mean, things, all right? Not tangible, not like cars and shit like that. When you recognize that your own wealth consists of people and yourself versus tangible items that you bought at the store, perhaps you're awakening. When you recognize your struggles for what they've been and why, and you recognize codependent issues, however that may look, and now you do something about it to move forward in your own growth and love for yourself, you're ascending and you're awakening. All right, so okay, bud, thank you. All right, so there's a lot more to ascension, and there's a lot more to awakening than meets the eye, and a lot of us are going through it. Cries for help, pay attention, tune in. Your friends need you. There's a quote out there, the strongest person, check on them. You might want to do that more often than not, and the chances are that they'll turn you away is huge, but guess what? They know you care, and at least they know you're thinking of them. All right, that's what I'm going to leave you with today. All right, I am going to give you an oracle guidance card, okay? That's what I'm going to do for you right now. Not to end this, though maybe there'll be another reading, I don't know, overall about awakening and ascending, but for right now, this is what I'm going to leave you with, because it's pretty heavy. And I'm here for you. If you want a reading, reach out to me. All right, I am here. All right, let's see. Let's cleanse this deck. Call my angels, my guides, my committee, I thank you. What kind of insight can you give us, please, during this reading? Thank you. All right. Nothing is yet set in stone, you guys, so keep moving. When it feels like you've lost everything, perhaps maybe just ride the wave, and you'll learn that you haven't lost everything. There's more to come, perhaps the best. So meditate on it and contemplate and really be mindful of what you do have in the space that you have. All right? What else? Okay. Nothing will come of this situation, all right? when you don't show the world the real you. Ask questions. Get out there, you know, when you feel capable. Be with people that you know are there for you with their true fucking heart. And then reciprocate. All right? Full moon in Aquarius. We just had this. Shit. You guys, if you have questions, the answers are coming. As you awaken, you are stepping into your own alignment, your destined path, your soul contract, that Hierophant soul contracts made lifetimes previous. And this life is yours to live. So keep rising above what you were. Appreciate the moment for what it is, and remind yourself that everything in this lifetime that you've been through, hard or not, is going to be worth it in the end. Change happens, and kindness matters. Abundance is coming, and I wait for it. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Thank you guys. I am grateful that you're here, and I'm grateful to be here too. Be loved, be together, go grow.